A public improvement can survive a design revision. It can survive a procurement delay. It can even survive a change in leadership. But it becomes vulnerable when the people who understand its history, risks, commitments, and critical decisions leave, and that knowledge leaves with them. Across public works, a generation of experienced engineers, managers, inspectors, operators, and construction professionals is approaching transition. At the same time, our projects are becoming longer, more integrated, more technically complex, and more consequential to life, safety, welfare, and essential public services. And with every tax-funded dollar under increasing pressure, the public cannot afford to pay twice. Once to learn a lesson, and again because that lesson was lost. I'm Ray Acuna, and this is the Public Works Edge. Here's the central message. Succession planning is not simply replacing a name on an organizational chart. It is ensuring that the public improvement can continue safely, intelligently, and accountably when any one person is no longer available. The project must outlast the people who started it. Traditional succession planning often asks, who is next? Project continuity requires us to ask harder questions. Who understands the decisions that brought the project to this point? Where are the assumptions, commitments, risks, and unresolved issues recorded? Who has the competence and authority to act? Who is prepared to assume responsibility? And how will the owner know that the transfer actually worked? A list of potential replacements is not enough. A resume is not a continuity plan, and software, by itself, cannot preserve professional judgment. Public works agencies and project teams need a complete continuity architecture. First, build depth before a transition occurs. Every critical project role should have a qualified second person who is actively participating in the work, not merely waiting in the background. The project manager and deputy should share important meetings. Technical leads should involve developing professionals in actual analysis and decisions. Operators should participate before startup and commissioning. Successors should understand not only what was decided, but why it was decided. Overlapping responsibility does not weaken accountability. When properly governed, it strengthens resilience. Second, establish one controlled project record. Critical knowledge cannot remain scattered across personal inboxes, private notes, disconnected files, or the memory of one trusted individual. The project record should preserve decisions and their rationale, design and constructability comments, cost and schedule consequences, risk assumptions, owner commitments, operational requirements, commissioning and testing expectations, unresolved issues, responsible parties, and required follow-up actions. The objective is not simply better document storage. The objective is continuity of understanding. A new team member should be able to enter the project, reconstruct its history, understand its present condition, and identify the next responsible action. Third, transfer judgment, not only information. A stack of records cannot explain which risks deserve immediate attention. It cannot reveal which assumptions remain uncertain. It cannot automatically convey the context behind a difficult compromise. That knowledge must be transferred through deliberate participation, mentoring, shadowing, joint review, scenario exercises, and documented transition periods. A credible succession plan defines who is being prepared, what that person must understand, which decisions that person must be capable of making, what authority that person will receive, how readiness will be demonstrated, and who will approve the transition. Fourth, preserve meaningful human control. The person assuming responsibility must have 5 things: competence to understand the subject and its limitations, information to examine the evidence, assumptions, risks, and project record, authority to modify, reject, escalate, or stop an action, capacity to perform the review carefully and on time, and accountability for the resulting professional decision. A title without these 5 elements is not meaningful succession. It is only the appearance of continuity. Finally, test the continuity plan before it is needed. Ask the project team, what would happen if a key leader became unavailable tomorrow? Could another qualified person locate the current decisions? Could that person explain the principal risks? Would the owner know who now holds authority? Could design, procurement, construction, startup, and operations continue without starting over? The answers will reveal whether the project has a functioning continuity system or merely an organizational chart. When continuity is designed into the project, new team members do not begin from zero. Important decisions do not disappear into inboxes. Operators are not introduced only at the end. Cost and schedule consequences remain visible. Lessons learned become operating controls rather than forgotten stories. Professional authority remains clear, and taxpayers are less likely to fund preventable delay, duplication, rework, or rediscovery. This is particularly important on major public programs that last years rather than months. The people may change. The elected leadership may change. Agency priorities may evolve. Market conditions may shift. But the obligation to protect life, safety, welfare, essential services, and public resources remains. Public trust is not protected by making one person indispensable. It is protected by building a project system strong enough to carry qualified judgment, knowledge, responsibility, and accountability forward. So, the next succession planning conversation should not begin with, who can replace this person? It should begin with, can this public improvement continue safely and responsibly when any one of us is no longer here? That is the standard. Protect the project. Preserve the judgment. Sustain the public trust. This is the Public Works Edge.